Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Professor Spira, and I'm on here with my main man. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Ehret. This is Professor Spira, and I'm on here with my main man. Greetings, brothers.
I'm getting
Ehret. Yeah, I'm getting to find out where this at.
And I'm on here
with my main man.
I'm getting
Yeah, I'm getting to find out where this at.
And I'm on
with my main man.
I'm getting
Yeah, I'm getting to find out where this at.
And I'm on
All right, I think
I thought you were trying to do something with the
all right, I found him.
Okay.
All right, that was.
Try it again. Start all over.
that was intended. See, that was an avant-garde jazz piece that we just performed for you that we like to call YouTube madness. YouTube madness. So that was totally intended.
That was a real cry for the ignorant.
Yeah. I mean, just totally going according to plan. Whoever said that we have technical issues, that's bogus. That's a lie. We do perfect broadcast technically.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'm going to be perfect today. So that'll be something for all the viewers to see. But it couldn't. I mean, hopefully that'll be it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. We can't. Yeah, we got it out of the way.
Yeah, we got
it out of the way.
Yeah, man. So we're coming today with a whole nother kind of vibe. So,
This is. You're here to talk about the second annual Professor Arnold Ehret Day Celebration. And we often don't ask for your help, but today we're asking for your help. We're trying to raise the funds to be able to really do what we want to do with this event, really meet our vision. We have a very ambitious and lofty vision that we've been working toward for years to really give Arnold Ehret his due, do a good celebration. And when I started dealing with the budget and really breaking down the things that we wanted to do, sometimes the way that we operate, we'll just start thinking about what do we want and writing things down and just letting the creative flow. Just no thought of how much something costs.
Right. That's just the way we do it. I mean, that's the process. And because what's right is right. So cost doesn't even come into what's right is right, because if the universe deems it right, it's gonna happen. But I mean, tell a story about the place, getting the place. I mean, just that lets you know that this event supposed to happen.
Yeah. So it's gonna be at the Whetstone Park of Roses in Columbus, Ohio, July 27th. And then we're going to also get together in the park on the 28th for something a little more informal. But the 27th, all day, going to be a jam-packed event full of speakers and music and art and getting together, fellowshipping, all that kind of stuff. Arts and crafts even for the young ones. So years ago, I'll even take it back further because I was thinking about this. We've been doing something like this really for years. You can go all the way back to we started talking about putting on these kind of events in 2004, 2005, and we do for 2 years straight. We do something with the namesake of Booker T. Washington, the Booker T. Washington Holistic Health. It started off as just an evening of music and dialogue about a healthier diet. And then with the next year, we turned it into a legitimate fair where we had different Mercy for Animals came, and Earth Save, all these different organizations came, and they set up booths, and we had a little section of booths. Brother Ehret gave the famous keynote speech that you can find on YouTube that has, you know, tens of thousands of views. And it was ambitious. We had a roundtable discussion, or a panel, kind of a formal academic kind of panel discussion there, and it was real successful. But we talked as much about Professor Arnold Ehret and the Mucusless Diet Healing System as any other event we do. It was just, in this case, it was Booker T. Washington Holistic Health Fair, because we did it. It was it during the, I don't think we did it during the African American month, but no. He was one of the first people that had talked about the importance of health and having a mindfulness of health within the Black community, and so we honored him in those early years. Right. But we've always had this idea of putting on these events that combine music and art with the message of physiological liberation and Mucusless Diet Healing System, Professor Arnold Ehret. So last year we had our first annual Arnold Ehret Day Celebration. So we said, okay, everybody has a day, all these important people. There's Martin Luther King Day and days for these people. Well, Arnold Ehret, if anybody should have a day, Arnold Ehret should have a day. So we're going to give him a day. So we said, okay, we're right around his birthday, we'll have a celebration. On the weekend nearest to Ehret's birthday, we'll celebrate. And that's how that came about. We had it in my backyard, did it on a shoestring budget. You know, I pretty much funded it. You know, we self-funded it because we kept it as you know, not as cheap as possible, just kept it in such a way where it wasn't super lofty. You know, I had it in my backyard. All the speakers, everybody was compensated that needed to be compensated. We had volunteers, and the community came out, and it was a great event, and it did exactly what we wanted it to do. This year, we started thinking that, man, it would be great to go out, you know, and just take it to the next level. And when we first did start talking about this event, I had in mind the Whetstone Park of Roses. It's a beautiful park that's down here that's near my house. And there's a shelter house there, and it is very hard to schedule that shelter house. Usually that shelter house will be scheduled up into a year in advance, and especially in the summertime, that's a huge, I mean, there's weddings, dozens of weddings all summer in that whole area, and other events and stuff. And so I just didn't think I'd be able to get it. A couple months ago, I reached out to the city and asked them what's available, and none of the shelter houses were available on Saturday the 27th. They had all been booked, much less thinking I'd be able to get the Whetstone. So it was several weeks later, I just happened to call, as I had given up on the 27th, and I was starting to look at, well, maybe we can push it to the 28th. He was not having it. He did not want to change the date of the main celebration to Sunday the 28th. And so I had happened to call, and I asked the woman I was talking to, I was like, could you go check the 27th for me just in case? Is there any shelter houses available on that day? And she said, well, it looks like the Whetstone Park of Roses is open. Somebody must have canceled. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean on the 27th, Whetstone Park of Roses is open? She said, yes. I said, all right, let me get my credit card. We hooking that up right now. And so I rented it immediately on the spot. And then from there, it was like, okay, we got to make this event special.
It's on. It's kind of on now. It's
it's on.
It's on. So thus us being here today. So
yeah. And let me I was gonna bring up a couple pictures of the Whetstone. If you go to the link, we got a GoFundMe page link, but then we also have a link I created on our mucusfreelife.com website. But I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and just give me 1 second to share. Okay. So yeah, so this is a few, I don't know how much you can see, but this is Parker Road. See, this is beautiful. I love this picture right here. It's like just Garden of Eden, Garden of Roses type of environment. And so this is just the grounds, the beautiful grounds that the place is on. They have a little herb garden down there. And here's the front little part of it, Whetstone Parker Roses. Then this is the shelter house. So this is where we will be inside this shelter house. I mean, we have the area around it too. We'll set things up, but the speakers and the music and all that stuff's going to happen in the shelter house. But we're also going to take time to go out and spend some time walking around together and having fun in the beautiful Rose Park and garden, and there's all kinds of other stuff in this area that's going on. So we're going to put together some more events. You know, we're still in the process of kind of putting all that stuff together. This is, looks like there was a wedding inside the shelter house where they put up all these little decorations and stuff. So yeah, so I was just totally I wonder if you was I'm not sure if you were looking at that or if you were looking at Brother Air right there, but this was what I was trying to share, was the all of the beautiful landscape here of the Whetstone Park of Roses. And I guess there's a lot of weddings here. Here's the herb garden, the Whetstone Park of Roses sign. Then that's the shelter house, and you can see some of these pictures on the pages that are associated here that we got. But that's when I did a little video log the other day, I went up in that and I was videotaping from this. It's this kind of raised gazebo that you can see the entire grounds from up there in the sky. It looks real pretty. So that is what we are dealing with there, the Whetstone Park of Roses. So we believe that the universe stepped in to make this happen, because it was real close. I was starting to get a little bit frustrated, and I was in my head, I'm thinking, man, we might just have to make some mucus-free fresh juice Kool-Aid and go in my backyard and you know, around it, you know.
Yeah, it was getting close to that, and especially when you suggested the Sundays, and I was just like, oh no, and I was trying to keep it to myself as far as, well, we want to do it, but I just felt like this, just having just the Sunday was just not the day, just not the feel for this.
Yeah.
You know.
So
and
I
so
basically put it out there. I put it out there in universe, and I said, all right, if we're gonna have it and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, then I need some help, and things are gonna have to line up, because I'm not gonna force anything. And so if things line up, then we're gonna do it. And so that leads us to where we are now, where again we have this grand vision of what we want, and we looked at at how much it cost, and we're saying, man, you know, this is definitely outside of our personal budgets of just self-funding everything. And you can't count on the tickets beforehand, because you have to have some money to get started, so that you know what to tell people they're going to be having. You know, when you get to there's a difference between people expecting a mucus-free meal at an event and expecting some water. You know?
Well, I mean, for me, it was what started making sense was the cultural connection of these events, and now this event and the events that's going to be in the future are all going to be connected to our cultural change. That's what we're pushing. We're not just pushing, hey, you know, come and check us out, you know, come and we want people to really come and see how we're going to be talking about where we want to culturally move to in terms of mentally, physically, you know, spiritually. Like this is like we're not joking. I mean, we're not just like trying. I mean, we want to have the Arnold Ehret village, you know, Mucusless Diet Village. I mean, that's going to be a reality. So this event is going to, you know, the presentations are going to be about the somewhat the village, but just the ideas and ideals of that village to come. Some of the things that we're going to talk about and deal with. So that's why I got so hyped, you know, because it started to connect for me. You know, I really started to understand like the end game of the Ehret Day for us. It really made sense now. Now it's making sense, you know. Right. And so yeah, we need some help. You know, and the way that this thing is lining up is that the connections that you can, you know, the same way the universe did what it did to create the space, those connections, I believe that that's what's going to happen with people who show up and people who donate. You know, those connections are going to happen like that in some way. You know, there's going to be that kind of like this is the right thing to do. You know, if you're ever going to spend your money, and a lot of folks, man, send money on, you know, on the internet and see things, you know, but we're talking about like really getting your bang for the buck, you know, getting the bang for the buck with some of the presentations that we want to have, and just the information, and maybe that you feel like, because you can only talk so much culture, you know, about like why are you cleaning yourself up? Why are you cleaning yourself up to do what? I mean, you know, like, I mean, the word elevation, you know, it's like we want to elevate. And so we're really talking about a new life. And people don't think that, well, this world is the way it is. People really don't think you can change it. And you can change it. It starts with you just changing it. The word physiological liberation that we use, those words. We believe that. You know, we believe that is the first step on changing the culture. It has to start there. It's not going to start with intellectual thoughts. You know, I mean, we know thoughts kind of start the process in some way, but you got to live this, man. You got to clean your rectum. You know what I mean? You got to clean your rectum, man. Cleaning your rectum changes the culture.
Yeah.
People don't get that. They think that's far removed, but cleaning your rectum changes Trump. You cleaning your rectum changes Trump.
Yeah.
And everybody who thinks like that.
Right.
And the culture. And trying to deal with the mucusless diet, that changes the culture. Right. That changes everything around you. And so yeah, man, it's like come up with you know, we're not asking for you to, you know, sell the house. And, you know, I mean, sell your property and all like that. You know, we just say, hey, man, just help us do this. And hopefully you can help as well as come to the event. We're in Columbus, Ohio. We're not that far away, you know, especially if you're in the US. And if you're in another country, man, y'all, people come from other countries, man, to go on cruises and to come to the Olympics.
Right.
And, you know, things like all that old worldly stuff. They put money into that. So come on, you know, come on, man. This is guarantee if you coming from Europe, Australia, or Germany, you know, some part of Germany, Japan, I guarantee you that you will be happy once you meet us.
Right. Right.
Once you come and plug in, man, we will definitely make those thousands of miles worth your trip, you know, and you will have some fun. You know, you will get some information that you will be able to use for the rest of your life, and it will change your life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a lecture. I think I'm doing a lecture, right? For this one? Yeah. And I'm gonna be talking about what am I gonna be talking about, man?
We had decided you were going to talk about kind of the mucus-free mindset, but we said it in a different way.
Yeah, it was kind of like a lifestyle.
Like living.
Yeah, living it.
Is how you live the life is what you do.
Inside of the life. It's like inside of the life with life going on around you, you know. People have to pay bills, people have to you know, they say, well, they have to work, you know, just that mindset of, you know, a job, you know, just that kind of mindset of thinking like that, instead of being you know, like relying on you to be that of what takes care of you, with, you know, with the universe, and we say move out the way and let the universe do its thing.
Right.
If we can start the children thinking like that, but the way we think, the way we teach the children is you go through kindergarten, grade 1 through 12, and then you get a certificate and you graduate. That's the way we teach the children. And what if we could start teaching the children from early age, from right out the womb, is, you know, you just move out of the way and let the universe do its thing, you know. And so they plug in. That's where it starts. That's where it started for me, was when I had a child, my son. I had to put it all on the line and say, okay, if I'm thinking about changing the culture, I have to start here. And people think, well, that's so risky, man. You know, it's almost like you're using your child as a guinea pig. That's what I've heard. I mean, I've heard those people say that, you know, to me and family members on both sides of the family, and so but the only way that you can change the culture is you got to be fearless. You got to be fearless, but fear is a good thing, because we're all afraid. We're all afraid. You know, we're afraid of the unknown. But you got to be fearless, man. It's like, that's the way the culture changes. If you want this thing to change, and you know that this place is bogus, the things that people assign value to is bogus. Has nothing to do with elevating of the human spirit on no level. Everything that we are supposed to plug in on a scholarship level and on a societal level is degenerate.
Right.
We know that, and we can, and we feel, but no one wants to take the time to try to combat it. is in a way would say, I don't have to live like that. I don't have to assign those. I don't have to assign those values. You know, I'm thinking like this, and willing to pay the price for the attitude that you know, for that attitude that you have now. There's a price to pay, you know, as you coming up against the, you know, the hamburger and hot dog people, you know, and then they're gonna fight to the very end, man, to keep their hamburger and hot dog, you know, keep that hamburger and hot dog culture and everything that goes along with that culture.
Yeah, that's real.
So, you know, it's so this is, and I'm saying I could not feel happy about myself as a man if I wouldn't have did or doing what I'm doing right now, and some of the things that I've done. I couldn't live with myself as a man.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with myself, man.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's the truth. And a little bit of that is fear, you know, just being fearful. But I'm fearful of not being aligned with my nature than I am of what what degenerate man can do to me.
Right. Yeah. That's
so you know, I mean, that's what fuels me. You know, this is the right thing to do, man. It's things change if you want it to change.
Right.
You know, if you want to change, you gotta make some things change, man. And so, you know, send us some cash.
Yeah. Well, hold the presses.
To help us get this event going.
We just got a really nice donation here.
Oh, wow.
This is an anonymous donation. This was actually somebody sent me an email just now, and they had me put it in.
Okay.
So I'm gonna share this. So this is where, imagine all the drum.
You want the drum?
Yeah. Give me a drum roll. Boom. So yeah, someone just gave $1,000.
Wow.
And so we're getting, I mean, you know, we already got 3,400 already.
Yeah. Well,
so, you know, because people will look at it that price. Now and maybe it's time to break down first what this pays for, you know, and the actual reality of putting on an event like this, and what you know, what it costs to really do this. And so let me take you through the Ehret Day information. Of course, this is on here, so you can go back through and read through everything. I'm just gonna kind of go through real quick.
Yeah.
So, like we already said,
that's the thing, is we don't want people to think we're pocketing money, man. This is
we're gonna show you. We transparent. We showing you where this money is going. Why, you know? Because I felt funny, you know, putting that up like, damn, I'm asking for this much money, but I'm looking at the event like this is actually what it costs.
I mean,
it actually costs more. The budget comes to more than we're asking for. So,
really. This is a kind of a soft. This is a soft budget.
Yes, right, exactly. So this last year stuff, and then we already talked about location, Whetstone Park Roses. You know, I got the.
You can imagine what that costs, and we got that instantly. It was about, let's secure it. Forget a deposit. Let's secure it.
I just didn't even think about it. That was just like, you know, I just got it. This is all right. Deal with that. We'll come back to the speakers. Let's go down to the budget part. So when I started putting the stuff together, it's like, okay, the venue, was around when everything's said and done. That's over 1,500. Then for the food, and this is, and we always wanted to have a legitimate meal, because last year we had the Brother Air salad, and we had a little food prep and that kind of stuff, but it was on the cheap. It wasn't like we was spending a lot of money on a kind of a more elaborate meal.
Right. Yeah, it was
classic Mucusless diet type of transitional meal, so that people can experience what that, if they aren't used to eating like that, they can see what it is.
Right.
What it's like.
And the Brother Air salad was a big success. Everybody loved it. I mean, they just went nuts. I mean, people were telling me, they're like, man, it's my 5th plate.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was like, 5 plates, man. Now you like a glutton, Yeah. They were a glutton for the Brother Air salad, but
yeah.
That was a good thing because we had plenty. As long as we kept Jessica away.
Right. Yeah. That was.
We had plenty of salad. As long as Jessica, we kept an eye on her. But,
right. And so then we get the the event programming, and for all the speakers that we want, because we want everybody to be compensated. We're not asking the performers and the speakers to come and just unless they really want to give their time as a service, as a volunteer. We're not asking them to do that. We want to compensate them and do so in a way that is comparable to what everybody else is doing that has these type of events. So the speakers, performers, video audio production, which is actually going to be donated by me. I put that on there because that's I know we ain't even, that's not he didn't even add that in there really.
Well, somebody can help with that, help with that.
So that's 30 for that. Then travel. So this was the big one. This was where I was okay. And we're going to talk about them in a little bit. There's a couple speakers that are out of town speakers that we want to bring in, and to bring folks in from out of town, you got to be able to get them
here. Well, it's just like when we do things, we want you to get us there.
Right.
So, we had to that was the first thing I was talking to Professor, because we was looking at it and we said, well, man, when we go do things, we want to get there. We ask for them to get us there and to put us up and to, so that was, it's just right. It's just right.
Yeah, it's what that again, that's taking it to that next level of having a legitimate, solid program.
Right.
So
unless and we're going to compensate, even if they're just like a state away. Like if they're 100, 200 miles away, we're going to still compensate them for the speech. But everybody's not 100 miles away, and they might be 1,000 miles away. And so now you got an airplane.
Last year we had folks everybody was pretty much
right here, close.
Yeah, it was close.
Sister Takora came up from Atlanta. She's about the farthest away as far as the. So, but but she didn't mind. She, with Sister Takora is not hard to work with.
With that,
we have to slip money in her.
We had
So we had to slip it. She get home and find it and call us up. Boy, just found some money in my. It was like we had to, So that's Sister Takora is not hard to work with at all.
So I won't go through each one of these. You can take a look at this if you're interested in seeing where the money's going. A couple other big ones, sponsors and volunteers, complimentary passes we're going to have a limited number, but that includes that limited number of the people that, which adds up real quick when you start getting into the comp passes and things for the volunteers. And, we want the volunteers to be able to be there and hang out. Then the other big thing, which if we don't reach our reach the goal that we would have to deal with, would be the event documentation. So this is the vision and the goal and what we really want to do. So it's one of those things, they build it and they will come, or just put it out there and see what happens. You know, we want to professionally document the event. So last year we had volunteers that just grabbed the camera or took a couple pictures, that thing. And that was cool for last year, but we really want to have a professional come out and take pictures, videotape, do the sound, the audio engineering. And so
and that really is to do it like that. It's just nice for everybody, for all of us to see it 2 years, 5 years later. We can look back, and everybody loves to look at quality and to see quality, and you know what I mean. So just to have that kind of documentation, a real quality documentation, is just and for people that's not there, you know, people that didn't, you know, maybe 2 years after the event, they might check it out, and that just enhances their need to say, wow, these folks, they know how to put on something, or they, you know, so they might show up the next year, you know, because of the quality of the presentation. Quality.
And with the documentation, then you have a really good thing to put out that people that weren't there can see it, but see it with the best audio quality, with the best visuals, and that can be preserved for, you know, generations. Then let's see any other big ones. So and that doesn't even count stage equipment, which is gonna be most of the stage equipment is gonna be donated. So that doesn't, you know,
most of it, but then we don't know at that point, you know, what else we're gonna need. I mean, we want to do everything on a real high level, real quality level. So when the music is being played, we want you to be able to hear the music. We want to, you know, we just want to do it on a real high level.
It's like you don't, unless you put together these type of events, you don't realize like all that stuff costs something. The lighting, the staging, the decorations, the food, the paying the performers, artists, musicians. We're gonna have some an option if you bring your children. You want to have
cleanup.
Cleanup.
And me and Spira probably end up doing cleanup, you know.
Well,
we probably would, you know, help in doing that, you know, because that's just how we roll, you know. And you know, but we got the place from pretty much all day.
I mean, it's gonna be happening. So then when people say, well, what about the ticket sales? So I broke this down just to give you an example of what would be happening. So we don't know how many people's gonna come. We can have up to 175 people in the venue. We probably maybe cap it at 150 just because we're gonna be comfortable in there, and we gotta have equipment and stuff. So if for some reason, you know, we's a bunch of people and start getting tickets, you know, we're gonna have to cap it at 150, but we might only get 40, you know, we don't know how many at this point, and we can't tell people everything that's going to be in the show until we have that baseline of and we have enough funding so we know what we're going to do. But if we had 40 attendees, that would be each person would have to pay $438 per ticket to cover the cost. If we had 50 people, that'd be $350 per ticket. 60 people, $292 per ticket. 100 people came, $175. That's why we're doing this fundraiser. We don't want to have to put that burden on everybody that's getting the ticket, because we don't have that type of you know, folks that's into Mucusless diet. We don't have that kind of money. We're not like, you know, like I know some folks out there in the world, you know,
we're bare bones. We're bare bones type of cats.
So
how we live, you know?
Did that to basically say, all right, we're trying to put on a world-class event to honor Ehret's legacy, foster the community, share Ehret's message with thousands, because when you have an event like this, it gives you something to talk about that people take a look at. And that gives us an opportunity to really spread the information way beyond just the group of people that are follow us on social media and that kind of stuff. We can really blow this up, and even though a lot of the people that see it aren't coming, they're affected by it. It gives them something to look at. You know, we're not just putting a book in front of their face saying, here, buy this book. It's like, no, here's an event in a community, in a culture that's happening, and people take notice of that. And they're like, wow, that's interesting. Even if they don't come, it will spark something in them. It'll put put something in on their mind. It's like an impression, like, wow, they doing something over there. That's interesting. And so that's as far as the budget goes, that's what that looks like. So I guess now we should tell you what you get for different levels of donation. So, and I'll just run through these again. This is written down on.
Well, check this out. For the person who just did the $1,000, what did he get or she get? You know. Start with her or him. You know.
The reason that's complicated because they gave it without wanting anything, so they don't want any of the gift.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna send them a gift. We're gonna send them.
Yeah, they're gonna get
a glossy of Professor Spira.
yeah, I'll sign it. Yeah, right. I'll sign that. And but so let me go through this real quick, then we can get to some more fun stuff. So in appreciation for donation, $10 donation, you get our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. We love you and thank you. $20 free PDF download of annotated Mucusless Diet Healing System. $50 you get free download of the entire bundle, the Mucus, our whole 7 books that we published, and also get access to the first annual Arnold Ehret Day video library. So that's over almost 6 hours of content from all of the lectures that we gave and some of the activities and things that happened last year. So that's the total value of $97 if you $50 donation level gift for that. Then we got at the $100 donation level, you get all of the above plus 15-minute phone call with me and Brother Air. We'll call you up, just chat on the phone or do a little video chat and just connect with you. You know, if you got some quick questions, we'll field those and just have a fun little conversation there. At the $200 range, you get all of the above plus 60-minute Mucusless Diet consultation or coaching session with either me or Brother Air. And this is something just because we haven't been offering consultations and coaching in a while. You know, I took a break from doing it starting last year. I had several folks I was working with, and then once we ended, I took a break, and I'm still taking a break. So I've been getting things moving to the point where, you know, I'm gonna do a few more, but I don't know when. Brother Air also working on some things with him. He's gonna start doing
those webinars. We're gonna start doing those. What are they?
Well, that's something that, I mean, that's just something else. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have some things in the works, but as far as one-on-one consultations, that hasn't been available. So if that's been something that you really want, this would be an opportunity to take advantage and jump on that and be able to meet with either me or Brother Air, take your pick, who you want to work with from that. But that's at the $200 level or $50 level, all of the above, plus I will create a 4-week personalized mucus-free menu and recipe plan for you. So I meet with you and we talk for the when we get together for the consultation, I go through all of the things that I need to collect the data. Then I put together my menu and recipe plan for you. The $300 donation. Now we're getting to where you get the free enrollment in the new Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course, all of the above. Plus, I mean, that's a no-brainer if you've been thinking of getting into the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course, because you're getting all of the stuff up there along with a consultation, which hasn't been available, and then access into the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. So to me, that's probably one of the best values that's on here. Then $350 donation, receive VIP full access ticket to the event, the second annual Ehret Day Celebration. So if you know you're coming and you're able to give a little bit more than the ticket is gonna be, then that's the donation point. We really appreciate that, because that'll just help be able to put this event on. So that'll get you in the door, ticket for the event. Then $400 donation. Upon approval, we'll place an ad for your business in our program, or you can opt to take one of the earlier gift packs. So if you want to get 400 but you don't have a business or something to promote, then you can opt to take something from earlier, as opposed to having an advertisement in our event packet. Then when we get up to between 750, 1,200, we're looking for sponsors. So you start to give that type of money now. We will sponsor you or your brand. So upon approval, your company or brand will be featured as a sponsor of the Ehret Day event. And as a sponsor, you can have your logo put on all of the web pages associated with the event, and have you send us something to hang up. We hang up the sponsors, a few different places around the place, so everybody can see your business. And and when I look at all of the combined followers in our social media, I have over 65,000 about subscribers and followers and people that are on the email list and that kind of stuff. So it's not the biggest. We're by far not the most popular, not on that level, but it's a nice chunk of people that are really interested in what we're doing and do listen to what we have to say. And I'm not a affiliate for all these different products. So when I put something out there and say, hey, check this out, that's a situation where people take a look at it and say, oh, okay. So that's, one way to get the information out there. Plus, we're going to be doing some paid advertisements, so that'll get the word out there even further than that. So it's a way to develop some goodwill in the community, visibility for your brand or business if you want to get into that, and potentially a tax break. But consult your lawyer and your tax person. But you might be able to write that off as a tax situation with that type of donation. So so that could be your logo right here if you have a business and you want to give at that level. So that's kind of my spiel there. Let's go ahead and talk about the speakers. So we'll fast forward through Professor Spira. We don't need to hear about him. And Brother Air, we might fast forward through him. And so Takora, she came last year. She's the expert on mucus-free motherhood and raised children on the Mucusless Diet Healing System, has birthed numerous babies
and grandchildren.
Grandchildren.
So she's I think she wanted to. Well, we're just gonna let her go. She kind of
she's fascinating to listen to, ask questions, and all that kind of stuff. Now we're getting in to our out of town folks. So we got Dylan Kegg, who we really want to bring in. She's an expert in earthship, biotexture, world-class face and body painting artist, freelance visual artist and designer, yoga instructor, and a former professor, associate professor at Grenfell Campus Memorial University, and a practitioner of the Mucusless Diet. and she attended the Earthship Biotecture Academy and received training from the architectural innovator and visionary Michael Reynolds. And so what we'd like her to do is introduce the mucus-free community to Earthships. A lot of people still don't know what those are.
Yes,
we should all know what Earthships are, because that is the direction we need to go.
That's what got me excited about this year Arnold Ehret Day weekend, was that getting Dylan. Dylan made it a point to we met, you know, and she happened to come to Cincinnati, and I think she said she was walking around town looking for me, like I was just out on the street playing music.
Right. Yeah, just random. Yeah, just walking around trying to catch you somewhere.
Yeah, she was just gonna catch me somewhere, like I was gonna be out in the street playing music somewhere. And so we ended up hanging out, you know, one day. But she came to the Midwest, and she wanted to look me up. And Spira, since she was here in Cincinnati, she was like, okay, well, Spira's in Columbus, but I'm here. And so we ended up hooking up, and she's just a fascinating person, very dedicated and passionate about the things she was talking about. And I really was the one that really wanted her here. I mean, because it made sense to me. You know, Spira had been talking to me about her for almost 2 years. I mean, you've known her and known about the Earthships, and I remember you sending me some stuff on it, and I kind of browsed it and everything. But talking to her really opened me up. And then this would be, we wanted to do the Ehret Day and not so much talk about mucusless stuff. You know?
You have some diversity, get into some topics that folks aren't ready for. They don't even know what's about to happen.
Connected to the culture of where we want to, you know, move our mindset to.
Right.
And the Earthship was this was it. This, for me, this was like, oh man, that's the reality. Now sometimes we have wants and visions that we don't really know how to make it happen.
Right.
This was part of, okay, now we know how to make this part of our new vision of where we want to move to, you know, mentally.
Right.
Happen. I'm not talking about physically. I'm just talking about mentally, have an idea of how we want to live and how we can live. And so this was very special to me, Professor too, but you know, I really want to expose her to the people inside of the Mucusless Diet community, that this is how we build the village. This is the reality. Here go part of the reality, and she's hands-on. You know, she's hands-on, and so, you know, so yeah.
And that's gonna be really kind of the public unveiling of the mucus-free village that we've talked about and, you know, hinted at and stuff. But it's one of those things that the average person, you know, people talk about stuff all the time. And if you watched us long enough, you'll see that we might not do things that we say in the timeline that we want, but we do the things that we say.
Yes. Yeah.
Do it. It happens. About the mucus-free village, I ain't even gonna try to put no time. I have no clue how long that would take, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. And this is the platform. Like, and it, for a long time, that was the vision, was to have a village or some kind of environment where all of the things are built with natural, you know, modern day natural means. That's the difference. Is we're not trying to go back in time, and we don't have to do everything the way that some ancestor did, you know, some kind of concept. We're modern people with a modern transition that we need to make. But so what do we do? How do we create a modern back to nature lifestyle, modern back to nature movement? This is it. The mucus-free village, that's where we have everything is off the grid, self-sustaining, and she's got this wealth of knowledge in this area of expertise. And it's one of those things, as usual, this whole way of living should be way bigger than it is, because it's cost effective. I mean, just the pros are crazy. I mean, you can even create these things are much sturdier than regular architecture. People think you're going to make something natural and then a wind is going to blow and blow it over. You're not blowing these over. They're starting to make these earth ships to a point where they are resistant to hurricanes much better than any other structure that we have. So this is a whole other level that, again, not enough people have been exposed to, and we're going to get this information out there. Take this, and show how we want to incorporate this vision and create a space which becomes a model.
Yes.
A model for others to follow all around the world, so that it's not just, because we're not trying to make, like one village that have billions of people in it. You create one village that has a small number of people, but if and when that information goes out and the model is understood, it can catch on like wildfire, and the transformation is inevitable all over the world. It starts to happen. And so this is the revolution. I mean, this is how we're going to do all these things that we're talking about. We're not going to go and overthrow something. We're not going to be in tanks trying to go and blow somebody up or something like that. That's not it. This is nonviolent, peaceful way to transform this world.
And the way you do that is you act as though these other folks are not there. They're just not there.
Right.
We do what we want to do.
Right.
We're not, the hot dog, hamburger people on the other side of the world or wherever, but, we'll have, what they say, I think I had posted something or shared something. I think Isaiah from Ghana, he shared something with me with a city that, remember the city that went vegetarian? There was a law.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah.
There's a video about it. I don't remember the name.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reality of that is there. It's happening.
Yeah.
Whatever those folks were doing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few things around that's in this direction, because I've had people have sent me stuff in the past, and there's some things, I think a community maybe in Russia, and there's some things around where folks are doing things in this vein, but we're bringing it to a different level. Mucusless Diet Healing System centered situation is gonna change the game.
Oh, no doubt. The physiology piece is the game changer, and is the piece that most people that are talking about any kind of live it on the internet, they don't have the mucusless diet knowledge of how to transition and how to clean themselves up the correct way.
Right.
We're talking about the correct way. We're talking about how to do this and be successful at it, and
right,
over the long term, and how to get your children into this, and I mean the whole family part of it. This is where it has to go. So
yeah, that's
it's a good thing, man. So help us. We're just asking for help.
Right.
Even the folks who I've had run-ins with, Just see yourself, see your way to,
Yeah. Right.
help.
Just help us anyway.
Just
Yeah.
help, man. We're trying to do something good for humanity and just help and come if you can. We can bury the hatchet.
Right. So let me keeps us Dylan. Then we also want to bring Johnny in, Johnny Gonzalez, physical fitness expert, trainer, coach at his own gym, G Fit Lifestyle, detox specialist, passionate advocate of Arnold Ehret Mucusless Diet Healing System. And from what I understand, he's a former bodybuilder. I saw some of his old pictures, and I think he was coming out of that tradition. But as with a lot of folks that start off being bodybuilders, you lose the ability to digest food on those type of diets and have a lot of health issues. So people think you're real healthy and that you look great, but you're really not in good shape. And so he comes out of that. He's got into the Mucusless diet and just really studies a lot of stuff and really and practices what he studies. And helped a lot of people, and a real inspirational person to listen to talk and demonstrate things. I mean, he's one of those guys that when people say that you can't be on a plant-based diet and be strong, you send them over to Johnny and be like, go demonstrate something, do a million push-ups and pull-ups and
I can't wait.
All that kind of thing.
I can't wait to meet this guy if we can pull this off and get him here. Because I don't get too excited with different people, when I'm hearing. I don't get that excited. You know me. I don't.
Yeah.
But he's one that just his enthusiasm, and I've seen y'all done some interviews together, and he just seems like he's very genuine in his quest to get it together, put himself back together again. And check out his posts on Facebook, and he's always at it, man. And that lets me know that he's thinking about this all the time. Because that's one thing that people don't understand. The practice of the mucusless diet is that you have to think it all the time. You got to think cleanliness, in ways of, it's almost like opening up some kind of, just opening up the waves of cleanliness thoughts, of cleanliness preparation, everything. It's just like you got to think. And I see that he's always thinking about this thing.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it. That's a real big proposition of getting to your goals, of cleaning yourself up, is thinking about it all the time. Just thinking about, okay, what I want to do, how do I feel, just thinking about it, man. There's a lot of the diets, man, they just basically end with, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as far as eat what they tell me to eat in this diet, and that's the end of it. And then they go off into their mucus and pus world and exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No, I was just saying your hands was up, was blocking them.
Yeah, but that's where. So I'm really excited to hear him and watch his presentation, because I know he's going to be off the chain type of enthusiastic type of guy. This cat's probably, so we already got a tree climber.
Last year, Takora, she climbed my tree, which is a tall tree, in like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, she was on the ground, and then all of a sudden, this was 2 years ago maybe, but she was on the ground talking to us, and all of a sudden we turn and she's at the top of the tree. I mean, it was kind of like Batman or something, where you'd be talking to them, you turn around and they're gone, and she was up the tree.
She was up a tree high enough to the point where I wouldn't do it.
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not getting up in no tree.
Right.
You know, what did Michael Jackson say? Tell Oprah, don't you climb trees? You don't climb trees. You know?
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, not that high, but yeah. So that's.
So Decor, but the point I was making with him is he's probably one of those kind of guys that's bouncing, you know, probably, you know, bungee jump off of something, you know.
Yeah, mountain, you know,
climb into, you know, something really heavy. So he's just one of those kind of cats that's fit and has a legit type of gym, you know, kind of in the model of, I know the ones around here like FitWorks and all these big places. He has one of those type of places where he, you know, I think, is it him and his brother?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but who all he's with, but
I know he talks about his brother. I didn't know if they were together in it, but yeah, so
that's that. And so to bring the folks in, we need that's where the donations help out, because then we can afford to bring the folks in and do it right.
Man. And you can meet these people if you show up too. I mean, it's it's kind of like we want you to come too. We want you to donate, or we want you to come. Just you coming is a donation too. I mean, just you being a part of this. We want people to be there. We want to be festive, and we want to meet as many people as we can. You know, all these, man. I mean, I have inbox full of stuff. You know, people trying to say hello and wanting to do consultations or this or, you know, come and hang. You know, come and hang, man. We just, you know. So, you know, so yeah, come. If you can't come, and we will appreciate the donation. We know about tips. That's the one thing that we do know about tips.
Yeah.
Because we do it. This is what we bust. We bust, you know. And this is our festival season. So this is our time. I just busted last night. I you know what I busted?
We gotta define that for people. Busting,
busters, you know,
street performer or street musician.
Well, the word busting is the international name for it. So if you said street performing in other parts of the world, they might not even know what you were talking
about. Right.
Only in America is it relegated to street performer, or, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I street performed last night at the Todd Rundgren show. And he was a cat back in the 70s. Oh, you remember the group? Well, you probably won't remember, Professor, but Utopia. But people older than maybe 50 might remember that group. But he was a guitar player that all the rock guitarists really elevated him, because he was the one that really used like effects pedals, and he really took that kind of sound. And so he was there, and it was packed, man. And I ended up doing I was just gonna do the come in. That's what I mainly just do, come in, where, you know, it's like an hour and then I'm gone, you know. But I waited around and did the come out. The stage manager came out and told me, he said, man, they in there smoking that ganja. He said, they're gonna come out wired up.
Right.
So I stuck around, I stuck around for the come out, and so it was cool. So yeah, man. But yeah, we know about tips and donations, and that's something, man. Like, we're asking for donations, and we're asking for certain amounts and stuff, and it's something that you can play some music and people are literally walking past you. And if you got I've done the circle shows. Spira, you've done the circle shows where, you get big crowds and things like that. And me and my son used to do circle shows. And we do the walk by.
Right.
But how people can walk by and 10 seconds and then put $20 in your bucket.
Right.
That's something, that they can donate that much money for just a few seconds of listening to you.
Right.
They walk on, and that's it. And they, $10, $20, $5. $5, I found out in the last 3 or 4 years, $5 is the new $1 bill.
Yeah.
I get tons of $5 now, where you're always going to get more ones, but I mean, I get tons of $5 bills. So, and that's, so we're not doing anything other than what we normally do. We ask for donations in our life. We live this. So now we're asking for donations, what would this be? The bucket? This is the
This is the
big bucket.
We got the bucket out there.
We got the bucket out there, and we're trying to create some resources to do all these things, man. And we're gonna have some fun, The band, we're gonna have a band. What's the band that we're gonna have, man?
So let's bring that up. All right, so we're gonna have the debut Professor Spira and Brother Ehret Fire Music Project.
Yeah.
And Fire Music Project, new musical collective organized by yours truly and Brother Ehret. And then we're also going to have, and it's almost like we're keeping that secret. That's just going to be something that's just going to blow your mind when you see it. Like we don't even need to talk about it, because we're going to come with some stuff that, one of our goals as artists in music is we want to create music that the music itself changes people without even talking, without bringing up and saying anything about lifestyle or diet. We want someone that doesn't even speak our language be able to hear the music and actually download all of that information just through sound and vibration. I mean, that's our goal. One day when we become good enough musicians, we can do that, where we're playing music and it just people download all that information just through the vibration.
Yeah.
So that is where we're going here, is the exploration of sound and vibration and bringing back fire music, because people and musicians, that's kind of a time-honored tradition in the world is fire music, hot music. But what's happening in a world of pus and mucus is it's always diluted. You put the water, it's like watered down. You put the water in there, put the plastic in. It's
hamburger and hot dog. Everybody's trying to be famous. Everybody's trying to be part of the industry. They're looking at it, as product. They're not looking at it as like the life you live, the life you lead. It's like sound. We were talking the other day about, like, how does when someone get raped, what does the music sound like to that?
Right.
What's the and I'm not talking about, you know, in a good way. I'm just talking about what does a murder, what, you know, because you have all these movies and TV with soundtracks and different episodes of different scenarios, and they have their own way of suspense and how to use music to make you, you know, oh, he's behind the door, you know, and
right, yeah, feel a certain way,
and that's hamburger and hot dog,
right, right.
you know. But we're talking about real. What's the music of when you have a stroke? How does that sound?
Yeah, how's that sound? What's a heart attack sound like?
Heart attack sound. What's the sound and vibration? It comes from that. You know, and having a child, you know, having a baby come out of the womb. What does that sound like?
Right, right.
You know, and so that's what we're really interested in musically, is because first you got to live this life. You got to live and try to be mucusless.
Right, right.
You dig? And to understand cleaning your rectum. I hate to say it like that, but let's be real. It's about cleaning your rectum. You know, cleaning the parasites, becoming human again. You know, becoming human. We're not human. This isn't human. It's nothing about our society that makes you think. It's kind of like, think of the universe and planets, and the planet Earth is kind of like the yellow bus planet, you know, like the retarded.
Yeah, that's
like the retarded, you know, like this.
Yeah.
This is where they came. This is where certain living things came to, you know, like this is it. So I'm not you know, I'm not a big fan of what we're doing.
Right.
In humanity and how we're living. I'm not a big fan of okay, someone invented the internet and we're on the internet and you can do this, but I'm saying that there are innovations and inventions that in other universes that would make this look like some, you know, playing checkers.
Yeah.
You understand? This is we on the yellow bus. This is the yellow bus. This is the yellow bus planet. You know.
Yeah. Was it the short bus?
The short bus.
Yeah.
This is the short bus planet. You know. So to change that, first we have to deal with. We got that piece, understanding being mucusless, being mucus and pus free is the first step. Now, people won't agree with that because they'll say, well, your mind and all that, but everybody's eating and everybody's drinking. And so if we can control that, things change. Things change from you drinking Kool-Aid and eating White Castles to you drinking fresh juice from a juicer and some cherries or watermelon.
Right.
Just the way you think, just the way you decipher information changes.
Right.
It changes. And so, you know, people like, you know, the so-called president of the United States and them, they have no clue. They're so constipated and, you know, like you have your radio and then all of a sudden you turn it on, you hear static. That's where they live at. That's their lives. It's like listening to static.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, in the physical nature, that's their status. And so what we're trying to do is be like the real grounded, having some real understanding about compassion and passion to want to be better. You know, passion to want to see others do better. You know, like you say, we come in peace, you know, like real, we say we come in peace, but that's what they told the Native Indian, you know, so we know that word don't, you know, don't mean anything, but we saying it in a way that, you know, we really do. We really want to see everybody do better and everybody bring something to the table. That's the key, is everybody can bring something to the table. And that's why we want to have the Ehret Day, for folks to come, man, and share some ideas and things that you're thinking about, because we don't have this village in our mind completed. It's growing, you know, like with the earth shift. That was just one part of, oh, wow, that's the way to go in terms of our dwellings that we might live in. Then we got a whole other part of life to, you know, we have the dwellings now. We, you know, some agriculture guru guy, you know, can come and show us how to plant, and, you know, and that's not what I do.
Yeah, well, and we got those, some of those folks in the community already.
That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, it's the point there is that those that do the work are going to be the ones that build this.
Yeah.
That participate, that show up, that do do the work physiologically, do the work out here in the social media world and wherever, you know, in person, coming to the Ehret Day celebration. You know, it's with us, it's always about work. That's why we're not popular. Is why no one likes.
Right.
We're just like,
and ask yourself, you know, you have to really ask yourself, and not really, you know, be for real. Do you really want to clean yourself up, or are you just into this diet phenomena, being plant-based? I'm plant-based, or being vegan, or but do you really want to clean yourself up? Because cleaning yourself up means being a whole nother kind of human. You know, a kind of human that's not going to stand for certain characteristics.
right,
you know,
right.
You're not going to be that. You know what I mean? And that's the whole problem with people who want to talk, well, I just want to be plant-based, and that's what they want to be, and that's fine, and they can be that. You dig? But you know, they want to be vegan. They really don't want to lose their social status in that hamburger and hot dog world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything that's happening now, we've predicted years and years ago. You can find some old videos, I think 5 and 6 years ago. I said, because back then it was basically preposterous to make a statement that any fast food restaurant would ever sell something plant-based. But I said, and I think I even put a time on it. I was pretty accurate. I was like, within the next 5 to 10 years, fast food places are going to start because they're going to be losing so many customers.
Right.
They're going to start transitioning to plant-based fake meats and things. And what's happening? We got a plant-based Whopper at Burger King that's coming out. The plant-based Big Mac or Quarter Pounder at McDonald's. You know, it's all coming out. White Castles was one of the first.
Yeah, man.
I mean, when you got White Castle having a plant-based burger,
like a plant-based death burger. Plant-based death burger. That's
because they trying to, you know, that's that okie doke. They're like, all right, we're gonna get there, you know, like it's plant-based. Come on back, vegans. We're White Castle, you know, we're McDonald's. Come on back.
And that should say something to the vegan and plant-based community that the impact that it has. I mean, there's more vegan and plant-based people than there's ever been in the history. Well, I can't say but definitely
recent history.
Recent history, American history. You know, like we're talking about on the Mucusless address, about how many big plant-based and vegan people there are, like 300 pounds, talking about they vegan.
Right.
You know, and they call themselves, you know, but so it's that kind of, and that's just another part of fitting themselves in the hot dog and hamburger culture, that, you know, they want to be vegan, but they don't want to leave that other life behind. It's too hard.
Right.
It's too hard. They think that these people are taking care of them, and if they can't separate themselves from those folks, and it's just, you know, fear. Once again, fear. But fear dissipates when you're clean. When you're cleaning yourself up, you're not scared of anything. Now you in the getting yourself together. You're in the getting clean. Yeah. You're not thinking about all these you know, fools out here that's just, you know, it's like a celebration of ignorance. You know, some of the plant-based and vegan people still like the celebration of ignorance. They still like to be a part of that because they think, you know, financially or socially, they don't want to be left out. So, you know, it's kind of family, you know, family is a big part of.
But that's where you
know,
understand that it's the pus and mucus addiction. Mucus addiction is not you know, the meat addiction. That concept of, you know, just getting off of meat and not being good enough. You know, that's the meat addiction is one of the easier addictions for us to deal with for most people. It's the addiction to mucus-forming food. Specifically, that's the one there where, you know, that's some serious.
That's the heaviest addiction known to man.
Yeah.
Heaviest addiction known to man. You know, and you know, I love to see these people talking about they have these mucusless. I call them little mucusless clubs now. Now they're popping up. We're mucusless. Let's meet. Let's you know, let's show how much, you know. It's like these rich folks, man, that meet up and show that they can buy tons and tons of fruit and eat it all weekend, and then when you're not around, they throwing up, and, you know, and so, you know, it's like the bulimic, anorexic type of community that have these mucusless clubs now. You know, they meet up now, and so you have that kind of vibe where, you know, it's man, aren't we doing good? Aren't we thinking about the right things? You know, we got all this money and no transition involved at all. We just gonna start eating like this.
Yeah.
See how long that goes.
Right.
You know, we've seen them come and go over the last 40 years. We've seen folks that you know, are really inspired, and they're happy, and they're, oh man, they're just, so, you know, we see those groups now popping up, calling themselves mucusless. You know, yeah, we're mucus. What did you say? Somebody stole our little song. You know, mucus-free. What was she saying? About
we are mucus-free.
Yeah. Now it's a group.
We are mucus-free.
And now there's a group called was it We Are Mucus-free or something like that? We just kind of like, where they get that from?
Well, no, I mean, that's something else. We won't get into that, but yeah, there's a couple comments over here that see, Vibe Rational says another thing is fasting doesn't automatically make you enlightened. Another program out there, and that, yep, that's another one where people, you know, I fasted for 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at peace with the world, and you know, I'm enlightened. I've reached the state of samadhi, and you know that whole piece. And it's like, yeah, another one.
2 days, and then I opened the door again. You know, I opened the door and I gotta go deal with
the world. 2 days, and then I opened the microwave door again. You know.
They say the popcorn is done in 20 seconds, you know.
Yeah, Hot Pocket, you know, I broke my fast with Hot Pockets. That's how they end up, because they don't know what they're doing.
What did I think my sister told me she did her fast with 7-Up. She was happy. She had been fasting, and I was like, "Wow," you know. And I think I got to the city where she was, because I knew she was fasting. And then when I got there, I said, "What?" I said, "Are you doing juices? Or are you dry fast?" What? She's like, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I'm drinking 7-Up." And I thought that was just the funniest thing, man. She really didn't get it. Like, 7-Up, you know, that was, you know, I mean, she thought she was really doing something, and she was, I guess, you know, and she, like, you know, she knew I was coming to town, and she was trying to get prepared, like, I'm fasting, you know, I know, you know, I'm drinking 7-Up, man, like, okay, wow. So, you know, it's like that, man, but you know, I just want folks, man, to send us what they can, help this thing happen. You know, I mean, let's make something happen, man.
Yeah. Well, it's
know?
Just, you know, people put all kinds of money into all kinds of other events that are all, you know, shiny and stuff, but it's like, you know, we're trying to do this. We're putting it in your hands, you know, asking the community, going to the community, and this is something that we feel is needed, and we need your help if we're going to do it. Because, like I said, we could nickel and dime and try to, you know, do something real cheap.
We're not asking you to do anything we're not doing. We're donating, you know.
Yeah, really.
Coming out of our pockets and stuff, you know. So we know, you know, because we are part of this community, and we are passionate about doing this, and so, you know, just saying, help us, you know, get to that goal that we're trying to get to.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
That's all. You know, and get some of your square friends, you know, because they the one got all the bread, you know. Bring your square friends with you to the Ehret Day, because they got all the bread, you know. So grab a couple of them, you know. Come on, you know, come on.
Someone said secret society, the 2-day fast is a start for someone who has never fasted. You got to start some. Not well. You didn't get our point. The point wasn't that a 2-day there was anything wrong with a 2-day fast. Of course, you start with a 24-hour day fast, a 1-day fast. We're talking about the person that does a 2-day fast or a 10-day fast or a 40-day fast, and they claim to be enlightened. They claim to have gotten to the top of the mountain, that they are a god amongst gods. That's the attitude we see at a lot of these people, or they do some kind of long fruit fast or cleanse or whatever words you use.
They become gurus after that. It's like they do a fast for you know, they might take a year and they might have done a few fasts, and now they're gurus. They're ready to do consultations, go do lectures. They be promoting themselves like, hey.
Yeah. And be like, well, how long you been doing this? And they'd be like, oh man, I've been doing it 6 months. I did a 6-month long some type of fast.
Right. And they know everything. They have great memory because they can remember everything that they've read in these health books. You know?
Honestly, no, they can't. They know because they're not that giving them too much credit, because the ones I see, they can't retain the information. They'd be like,
well, I mean, they retain some things that
they regurgitate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're not living it. They just can, they got a great mouthpiece. This country is made up of people with great mouthpieces. That's it.
Yeah.
People who can talk the trash, man. Literally. Can talk the trash, and people like that. People feel comfortable with people who can talk the trash and, use big words and sound like they know what they're talking about of certain subjects that really don't have anything to do with anything. It's like, we can't prove what he just said or she just said to be, but it sounded good, like I could decipher the words separately. I don't know what it all meant, but I understood some of the words,
Yeah.
So that's how things work here.
Yeah. So again, we're out here now. I apologize. I noticed that my for some reason my camera looks fine in here, but then the broadcast looks like my camera isn't looking too good. So I apologize for that. Looks
like it's partially freezing up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a challenge, man. And we always we was actually going to do it in a different way, and that way didn't work. So I ended up having to put this, and I've never really had a good experience with this particular Hangout thing.
Check out your audio. Check out your audio, because now I'm hearing it and sounding kind of chipmunkish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on my end. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe somebody can say.
Well, I mean, we're wrapping this up anyway, because I want to go ahead and kind of wrap it up. I don't want this to be long, because we're coming back again tomorrow with the podcast format, and I'm gonna be interviewing Brother Ehret tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to figure out some technical things, see if we can do it a little different way. But that's gonna be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're gonna have the second episode of the Mucus-free Life podcast going out there. So that's gonna be that will be fun. And we're gonna talk about the early years of Brother Ehret's transition. Those early years.
Oh man, I can't wait. I am very excited.
Yes, I'm very, very excited about that. I wonder if let me see if I share my screen one other time, if the shared screen. Let's see how this does. So we didn't mention Janan Al-Jahani. She's going to join the Fire Music Project. Great belly dancer here and good friend out here. And we got Mr. John Davis. He's going to be in the house helping out with a lot of stuff, making some beautiful music on the vibe. And he's got a really great story to tell in the Mucusless Diet path. And so that's what we're dealing with. And we're asking you one more time. I'll go through what you would get if you the different donation levels. So we're looking for you to just help out, even if it's just a couple bucks, $10, $20. It would be much appreciated, because we want to make this happen. We're very passionate about this. We putting it all on the line to make an event happen. Because I was, at one point I was thinking like, okay, is this really, we want to put everything on the line for one day, for an event like this? And we just said, yeah. So it's like, all right, well, we need your help. So $10 donation, you get our heartfelt gratitude. $20 donation, PDF download of the annotated Mucusless Diet. $50 free PDF download of the ultimate digital mucus-free book bundle, as well as the first annual Ehret Day video library. Total value of $97. $100 donation, you get all of the above plus a 15-minute phone call with me and Brother Air, or phone call or video chat with us, and we'll just have some fun for a couple minutes and just chat a little bit. $200 donation level, get a 60-minute Mucusless Diet consultation and coaching session with either me or Brother Air, and that is something that it has not been available for a while. A lot of people have been wanting Mucusless Diet consultations, and I have, I've been on a sabbatical from them for a while. So this is an opportunity. You want to get some consultation, here you go, right there. $200 donation, and which is not that much more than 60-minute consultation would be, plus you get everything else. So that's a great value right there. $250 donation, all of the above, plus I'll also create 4-week personalized mucus-free menu plan for you. $300 donation, all the above, plus a free enrollment in the new Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. All of that. Once you get to that, now the value of all that is about $1,000. So you could take advantage of that if you're looking at joining the Mucusless Diet e-course. Then instead of paying what you would pay for that, just add a little bit more, and you're going to get all of this stuff with the menu planning as well as the coaching consultation with me and Brother Air. Then we get the $350 VIP full access ticket to second annual Ehret Day Celebration. $400 upon approval, we will place an ad for your business in our program, and you can opt to take one of the earlier or you can opt and take one of the earlier packages that I just discussed. $750 to $1,200 sponsorship opportunity. If you have a business or a brand, or you're trying to promote yourself, or whatever you're trying to promote, if we get up into this level, we can talk a little bit and have a get your logo and get your stuff promoted right along with the event. So you would be a sponsor of the event, send all the marketing materials, all that kind of stuff. You would be a part of that. And so that is overall what we are dealing with there. So if you want to donate, hit the link there. There's a link right there in the description. Hit the links, and it should take you. In fact, I'll bring this up. So if you're on YouTube and you hit the link, and it'll bring you to this main page. Just scroll down. If you hit learn how to help, and then you will get to the GoFundMe page. And okay, all right, we got some. All right, beautiful. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
That's happening. We got 500 from Anonymous, 350 from Dick Gregory,
Dick.
350 from Steve Jobs. From
Ash. Thank you, Mr. Jobs, from the grave. From the grave, they're making donations.
Yeah. Wow. So this is where you want to get to. So just follow the links, and it'll lead you to the GoFundMe page here, and this is where you can make your donation, and we will definitely appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And we're gonna have
keep them coming, man.
Yeah, keep them coming. Yeah, keep them coming. We're gonna make this thing happen. And
he's a great man. Arnold Ehret is. I mean, there's not too many people that really affect us like, you know, individuals, but Arnold Ehret was one that just affected me. I changed my whole life. I changed my whole life. He changed my whole life. The respect. And I mean, you're talking about at a time that I was going through a period where I was into, you know, the Pan-African movement. And I mean, it wasn't really too much you could say about white folks that I wanted to hear, you know. And I mean, seriously, you know, I didn't have no love like that, you know. And more, I read this man's book. I was like, man, now that let me know that, you know, all white folks, you know, wasn't like that. And you know, they're trying to get themselves. Arnold Ehret was somebody who was really sincerely trying to get himself together by any means necessary, and that's what we use, you know. And so it gave me a whole different perspective on the humanity that I lived amongst, as far as, you know, dealing with Caucasians or all these different races. It gave me some understanding about the races, and I really started understanding that it wasn't even about that. Arnold Ehret figured that out. He figured that one out, and so, you know, really great man. And this dude was heavy, man. I mean, you know, Einstein, all those guys, those kind of type of individuals went to his sanitarium, you know, and visit him. And so for him to draw those kind of people out, he had to be, you know, somewhat of an intellectual on some levels, just to sit and have a conversation with him. And then when you read the book, it's so heavy. The context, the content of what he was talking about was, you know, and I still, like I say, his murder, you know, I'm not gonna believe that he fell and hit his head until you know, something just convinces me, and some evidence convinces me. I believe that, you know, they took him out based on the information. And when you read the Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet book, you can see that some of that information was there. He was pulling the rug out from under the whole white supremacist mentality. And I love him. I loved him for that, you know, and still love him for that. That he figured that out and got you know, way past that. So, you know, my love for that man, you know, dedicate my life to practicing the Mucusless diet. It changed my life. And I thank him every day. You know, I thank him. I think that I think that what am I trying to say? Like, I give thanks for him every day that he existed in this world, that he relearned some information, because this information had been here long before Arnold Ehret was born. But he, you know, relearned it and documented it for us, to give us some kind of direction, very understanding system on how to do it. That's the key. And that's what makes Arnold Ehret the best when it comes to dealing with livid and so-called diets, because he has a system, and no one else have a system.
Right.
No, none of these diets out here. They talk and they got a great mouthpieces and they write books, but the system, and and over 40 years of working the system and seeing and trying to live in the life, trying to live in the society of transitioning within, maintaining yourself in the system, in this system, practicing that system takes you, it's almost like you are diametrically opposed to that system that which you live in. You have to be,
right,
because everything is backwards. When you start practicing the system that you live in don't make any more sense. You have to be diametrically opposed to something that's trying to kill you.
Right, right.
So this is a life system. This is about life.
Yeah.
So it's no discussions. It's no discussion on or conflict resolutions or none of that.
Right.
This is the way it is, and this is the way it gotta be. And there's no compromising. There's no compromising. We're not politicians. The art of compromising. There's no compromising with this system. Is
right.
You want to get yourself together, you got to get yourself together, and you got to take your lumps. You got to take your lumps inside of this other system that doesn't want you to get it together, that wants you to be degenerate, that is constantly dumbing you down. How does it feel? I mean, in America, we know how it feels to be surrounded around people who themselves who create annihilation for themselves, a slow suicide.
Right.
You're living with people who create a slow suicide for themselves and want it for you. They want it for you. So here go your certificate. Here go your certificates. You did a great job. That's what your tombstone. That's what you get at the end of it. Your tombstone. That's your payment. Is a tombstone. That's your certificate.
That's your receipt. Yeah.
Yeah, your receipt. Yeah. So you get your receipt. So there it is. So I mean, so I didn't mean to go on no tangent about Arnold Ehret, but I'm just talking about how his work affected my life.
Yeah.
And my family's life. How he gave me a blueprint, and I felt like with his blueprint, I had to help innovate on it. And I think I have. I think I've brought some things to the table.
Right.
And I think that's the way that we have to do it. I think, professors brought some things to the table. So that's how we do it. So yeah, man, I'm done with the rant, man. Send some money, man. Help us out, man. Just send some cash, man. Help us, man. Trying to do this thing, man. And we want to do a quality event. And we want to see you in the house too. Come on.
Yeah.
If you can drive, if you like 400 or 500 miles away, you can drive.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a time when it's easy. It's easier to travel now, than it was
Well, I mean,
250 years
a
ago.
lot of people think that their car, well, my car ain't in good shape. Look, your car don't know if you in St. Louis or if it's in Cincinnati. It don't know the difference.
Right, right.
You know, you can drive, and come on, hey, 500 miles ain't nothing to drive, man. I did it. I did that 4 times. I went to Chicago 4 times in 1 week from Cincinnati.
Mm.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
In 1 week. I did it 4 times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
that's So that's it. Let me read some of these couple of these comments over here. Someone asked it, Brother Ehret said that the diet existed before Arnold. Did Arnold ever mention any influences in his work from anywhere? Yeah, he mentioned the Bible, Genesis 1:29, which some people believe is a text that goes all the way back to the origins of time. But there's more. There's other texts that tell the same story.
When he was in Africa, that tells you who he's talking to. Who is he there with?
Yeah, yeah. So he did a whole couple years in Africa where they was walking around and biking, and he was doing all this fasting and studying, and came across a lot of people, a lot of different folks that was doing basically Mucusless diet. It just didn't have a name. Arnold Ehret was the person that put the system together and put it in a book. And in the book itself, which a lot of people forget, is the book was meant to be a textbook for people that he was educating to be mucusless diet educators. And so the book actually isn't even supposed to necessarily stand alone. And that's why I was so passionate about creating the e-course, where at least there's a course that goes along with the textbook as the original book was intended to be, a textbook for a course. And so
most people don't know that. Most people don't know that what you're talking about. They don't understand that, but that's what we do. I mean, that's been our legacy in this thing, is that we're really trying to deal with the legacy of the information in a proper manner.
Right.
You got to be proper, and you got to be respectful, and you got to know the lineage of the ideas and the logic. There's a lineage to logic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's that. Let's see what else we got over here. G said, I love this. We're learning how to put words to the system. It's difficult. I can feel it, but can't express it. Yeah, it's very true. And we were talking about the art and making music before. We try to talk about the experiences, the way we feel, and you're right. And that's one of the things we try to bring to the table, is to bring some kind of articulation to lifestyle, to the consciousness that you get by when you go down this path long enough. There's certain things that open up to you that you just observe just through living the lifestyle that you don't read in a book. And that's one of the ways that we can tell if somebody's really practicing the mucusless diet or not. They start saying certain things. There's a certain mindset dialogue that you start to say, and when you start talking like that, we're like, okay, yeah, you're doing something. And
because we've seen them come and go,
right?
As even just recently, we've seen them come and go, man. They come in and they just gun ho, and they're really into it, and then the next thing you know, they're doing YouTube videos talking about vegetarian revenge. It's like they holding up porterhouse steaks, eating them raw, saying so I mean, there's been some extreme cases of folks who who are not patient and who don't want to deal with the system. That's been the whole thing, is that if you follow the system, you will have success.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
People who don't have success is people who are not following the system.
Right.
They're trying to move too fast, trying to be fruitarians. Oh, I want to be like you, Brother Air. I want to fast forever. And
Yeah, it's like, process. And that's part of what we're gonna get into tomorrow during the podcast, is really get into what it took, like year 5, year 10, year 15, year 20. I mean, there's a world of experience that's in every moment of every year, along the path, and people tend to miss that aspect of what it really takes to do this thing year after year after year. And the kind of mindset, the mindset that we have is not one that where, it's the way that people put goals together is so different, and it's hard, take a while to explain it, but that's when I listen to the way people say, just the way they think about goals and how okay, I'm going to try to do this by this date. They putting things in this box. And with practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System, there's no box. There's a structure. There's a difference between a box and then having a structure. So there's a box, there's a structure, but you can't do nothing in that. It's a constricting structure. The Mucusless diet is a more pliable type of structure, and that is what makes it so great, but also what makes it challenging for a lot of people to practice, because it puts more demands on you in some respects to think through and kind of figure things out, where it's not just saying, okay, you take 300 calories, measure out 4 grams of blueberries, and together with, it's not that type of thing.
But this is the thing. I mean, it really, and I'm gonna tell you, man, just to keep it very simple about what I do, it's all been based on me feeling better.
Yeah.
And I've learned about me feeling better ain't necessarily about me feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's some other stuff in there, man, that well, I'm not feeling better, but I know that what I'm doing and where I'm at, what I'm going through is gonna make me better.
Right.
You might, what's the saying now? They say wait on it.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of like, what a little bit of the practice of the Mucusless diet, you gotta wait on it,
Right.
Like the pain. Oh man, some people run, man. Oh my God, I didn't sign up for this. But if you wait on it, then all of a sudden you'd be like, like walking across the water, man. You'd be like, man, what is when you start, he talked about the magic mirror, and we experience a part of practicing called the magic existence.
Yeah.
And so when you get a little taste of that, you want to keep getting a taste of that.
Right.
Mind you, it don't last. We're trying to figure that out, like how to make that last. But we know it's there. It glimmers. It glimmers in and out. But sooner or later, it's gonna last. The magic, the magic existence will last. But there's a lot of humps that you got to get over.
Right.
But but what inspires you is the little taste of it that it gives you. You be like, oh well, okay, it's like this. Okay, this is worth dedicating my whole life to. If I know it can be like this,
right?
Just that little taste was like, oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You get these glimmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, this is a whole different, and it's very hard to explain the difference in feeling from, because we all come from the hamburger, hot dogs, steak and eggs type of background. So we know what that feels like. I remember that kind of thing, and it was very much, until you get off of that, you don't realize how much of a drug.
Constipation is an existence.
Mm.
It's not a feeling.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, someone write that one down. I like that. There's a good brother air quote. Constipation is an existence. Yeah.
I mean, because you just mentioned how we used to live.
Right.
We didn't know. We didn't feel constipated. Like, if now you can say, I can be like, man, I'm constipated, in terms of,
right.
You might be talking about the stomach, like, boy, my stomach is just going through something. No, just the way just our existence. And we didn't feel it. We didn't feel that constipation. It was existence.
Right.
Right. And that's where we at. And that's what, the Trumps and the people who are the so-called fathers of the society, that's where they live at. Their constipation is ongoing. They don't know what it's like to not be constipated. They don't know how that feels. They would think they were deathly sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could, because those of us that practice this diet, we do our enemas and we get this stuff out, and you can be years in and you do a fast and you do an enema and all this slime and stuff comes out, might smell like egg and rotten egg and whatever. And that's those of us that's working. I mean, you could imagine the toxic waste that would come out of someone like Trump or any of them guys. I mean, you talking about, don't just clear the building, don't just clear the White House. You got to clear the whole city. It's a core meltdown.
Call the National Guard in.
Yeah, call the National Guard, and they'll walk in spraying Febreze or something all over there. The fire department like, okay, get your Febreze truck, and they'll be bringing that over. Just, oh man, this is
Febreze would not work.
Would not work. Yeah. They'd be like, where get the Pine Sol? What they be trying to bleach? They're trying to find something. It ain't gonna work.
You got to go to some real industrial strength type of stuff that they use whenever it's something that's just, you're talking about the ultimate.
Well, and even then, bring in the lemon juice. It's still.
Well, they
don't know about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lemon juice, man, I wouldn't even give them credit to do nothing like that.
Yeah, don't be a waste of good lemons.
Yeah, I'd be talking them out of it. I'd be like, man, I could take them on home with me. Forget that. Y'all use.
Right. Yeah. You guys. Yeah. Don't waste that. But yeah, the level of toxicity in the world and in society is just unprecedented and unnecessary. We have enough information to get the ball rolling in the right direction, get this transition going.
Well, you know what I just heard? There's a Dockery.
Yeah.
I hear Dockery's back.
Yes. He's back doing journalism again.
Wow.
yeah, it was real fun getting the chance to see some new stories of his last week on the first episode of the Mucus-free Life podcast.
I hear that Doc Dockery has out a detox.
Yeah, I heard. I think he said he might stop by tomorrow and talk about it at the second episode.
That'd be interesting to hear Doc Dockery's detox.
Yeah.
I guess he's getting into it just like everybody else, you know.
Yeah, because everybody's got a detox. You know, got to cleanse.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, Doc's back, so I can't wait to hear from Doc, because he was he was something back in the day when we were socializing with Doc.
Yeah, we did the
he was
we had the radio show, Immortality Pipeline Radio.
Yeah.
He would come on and do some news stories from time to time.
Where did he find his news stories at, man?
He's an avid researcher. He does a lot of research and just really finds the best stories in the world to talk about.
Can't wait. I'm glad he's back. You know, I'm glad he's back. So yeah. So once again, send us some cheese, and we ain't talking about cheddar or provolone.
yeah. This is
some cash. You know, help us.
Definitely.
Help us hook it up.
Some Obacon Jones. Thank you so much. You got Obacon Jones.
Obacon. Okay, I've been seeing. No, I just have been seeing that name recently.
He's doing some work. Yeah, I've been checking.
Yeah,
and
come on to the event, man. It looked like he was. I see a picture of him or something. Or
I think he had posted up a picture in the.
Okay, that's what. Yeah. That name is real iconic, so that's why I noticed. Because I zip by folks so fast on Facebook, man. I'm normally going to do something on it, and I have to apologize to people when I don't see, their texts and they're friends with me. So sometimes, but that name was so like trying to figure out how to pronounce it, and you just pronounced it right, so I was wrong.
Yeah.
So now, but yeah, thank you, brother.
So yeah, let's check the chat, see what else is going on. Yeah, there was the Trump toxic dump.
Yeah.
We got a toxic dump for president. And let's see. Deconstipate, de-obstructing leads to increased vitality. Ooh-wee, that sinks, man. What you been eating? I told you to go see a doctor. My fart stank so bad. Yeah, that's some poetry.
Kind of poetry. That's weird, because that's the kind of poetry to get us off.
Get
off on that. Are we that strange, man? That would appeal to us,
Right. And let's see, Peter R. Peters. I teach at high school seniors mostly in Southern California. I share Ehret's teachings and your channel when they turn 18, of course. I definitely appreciate that. Much appreciation. My treats are grapes, watermelon, and bananas. Screw the donuts. Exactly.
Oh, great. Beautiful. I hope you keep your job.
Yeah.
Good luck, bro. Keep going. And if they fire you, over who you are, then man, we're gonna figure out some way to hire you. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna hire you. You know?
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's what we want. That kind of teaching.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, most definitely.
Can you imagine young people, man, eating fruit? You remember when we did that little documentary and you asked that little girl, you know what a cherry tastes like?
Yeah, she was eating this ice cream or this some kind of
It's like
thing.
a cherry
Like,
slushy.
I was like, she's like, well, I was like, what's that? She's like, ice cream. And I was like, oh, what kind? She said cherry. And then I was like, oh, okay. Well, do you like cherries? And she's like, what? I was like,
What?
have you ever had the fruit cherry? She's like, I ain't never tasted one of those.
It's like, I mean, how backwards that right there just let me know how far off of the rail the train has gone. That this little girl was eating, it was a little cherry slushy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And for her to know like a cherry to relate to a cherry slushy, the word cherry within the slushy made sense to her, but cherry, the fruit as we know it, she had no clue it existed.
Right.
Now that's bad. That's bad on so many levels, you know, but that's the reality. You know, when you got children and parents who buy children juice that looks like windshield wiper fluid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's bad, man. It's bad. And we're wondering, you know, the tragedy that just happened, what was that, in Virginia Beach?
Yeah. Where I talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of thing. Let's deal with his stomach. Let's do our autopsy. See what was in his stomach. I guarantee you it wasn't fruits and green leafy plants.
Right.
Yep. And everybody he shot. Not that they're being accused of anything, but
yeah, it's the again
vibration,
the
vibration,
that culture.
Yeah, that culture, that vibration of that kind of action follows you. You know, it is, yeah. So, you know, and I'm just so hurt that all that happened. You know, I just hate hearing, you know, it's like, was it 10 or 12 people mass murdered, but
yeah,
we don't have a problem when you're mass murdering, slow suicide, millions of people.
Right.
Daily. And you create agencies who sanction the slow murder.
Right. And in some cases, the quick murder.
Yeah. We don't hear about people who, little children who drinking milk and they die. We don't hear about those stories.
Right. No.
Just from being milk poison.
Right.
Parasite poison.
Yeah, pus poison.
Yeah. So yeah, it's rough, man, to deal with that kind of thing when you hear about it. And I'm always the last to know. I always call Spira and ask him, like, man, what happened? You know, because I don't have a television or none of that kind of stuff, and I don't know about nothing that happens to us days later. And you know, but when I hear about it, it's just mucus and pus. This is the life you live. This is the life you're creating for your family. This is the life, you know. What the show used to be. It used to come on when I was a child.
Yeah, this is
your life. Yeah, this is your life. So get ready, you know. Yeah. Keep your arms inside the ride.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I think we're gonna start wrapping it up. We've been on here a minute, and one more time I'll kind of go through go through everything that's going on here. So we are raising money for the second annual Professor Arnold Ehret Day Celebration. We're trying to take it to a whole different level, and in fact, let's see, let's make sure that I don't know if we got any more. Okay, so basically, we're looking to raise quite a bit of money because it costs quite a bit to do what we're trying to do. We want to bring people in from out of town to do some speaking on some very high level stuff. We want to we didn't talk too much about it, but have some programs for children. You bring your kids, and we want to have some arts and crafts for them, some things that they can do throughout the day where they're, sometimes sitting and watching talk is hard for someone that's 3 or 4 years old. So we're going to have some programs for them, and Mama Takoa doing some things. And so there's that. And just the quality that we're trying to get to, we need that type of funds, because we've been for years we've done it ourselves. We talk about the Booker T. Washington Festival and last year's Ehret Festival, that kind of thing. These are things that we put on ourselves, and so now we're saying, okay, we want to put on something that's world class and be able to really do it right. And so it's going to be at the Whetstone Park of Roses. We already got the shelter house hooked up. This is a beautiful place, as you can see here in these little picture montage I got there. Beautiful place, and we are going to take this place by storm and just put so much cleanliness. I mean, in this space, just really bless this space with folks that are interested in cleanliness, practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System. It's going to be a lot of fun. I do not know what that ringing is. Is that you over there?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. Projected speakers. We got me, Brother Air. We're gonna do it. We're not projected. To Cora.
We will be there.
Yeah. Then we talked a while about Dylan. Really excited to be able to bring her in, and that's where it's going to take some funds. Got to get the plane tickets and all that kind of stuff, and bring folks in and get into the Earthship biotexture and really talk about this mucus-free village. I mean, we haven't really talked in detail about what we're really going to do. It's more than just a pie in the sky type of vision. We say pus in the sky vision. This is something real that we have a plan, and things are going to happen, and things are putting itself together, and she's going to show what we're talking about in the a foundation of it. I'm going to bring Johnny in, a great physical fitness expert, practicing Mucusless diet, just one of these guys that's really just
he wants to pump you up.
Pump you up, yeah. Just a great athlete, just a lot of education, and that's going to be exciting. Bring him in. The music and art, Brother Air, Professor Spira Air Fire Music Project. We're gonna have some serious music, high level of artistry. We always are about that. Trying to take and bring and really change music, change the fabric of art, to bring it into mucus-free art. In the 21st century, art should be all about mucus-free artistry. And so that's going to be a whole thing there. And we got Janelle and going to join us.
And this, I want to say this too, is like, this isn't the only time that you can donate. The donations will be going on after the show and tomorrow and next week, because some people might not get paid.
Yeah. You can,
you can.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you can still donate. Yeah, we're gonna have the GoFundMe up a while, and so definitely, definitely. So we're gonna have Janine. She's also helping with the decorations. She's got a great eye for decorating, and so it's gonna be doing that. We got John Davis.
Little John. We can't call him Big John. No. Little John. Now.
Yeah. We got to get some new pictures since he lost all the weight.
He's enamored with Professor Spira. He can't get enough of Professor Spira. Oh man, Professor Spira is the man. Brother Ehret,
yeah, but it's gonna be great. So some high level music. We already talked about the budget. If you want to see where the money's going, we're not pocketing it. It's all this money is going to the event. So I'll break it down of how this stuff actually costs. We talk about, trying to get enough donations so we can get the ticket price down. I want the tickets to be very affordable so everybody can get it.
Yeah, man. I mean, do we want to? I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man, to consider when you put on an event, which was revealed to me through Professor when we were talking, and then he threw a budget at me, and I was like, whoa. He had everything down from plastic farts to silverware.
Yeah, I got real into it, and it actually cost to pull this thing, thing off, and so
the reality hit me like, okay,
yeah.
So
So one more time before we close off, we got the donation, $10 donation. You get our appreciation, $20. PDF of the annotated Mucus Diet, $50 free PDF of the ultimate, basically all 7 of our books, plus the first annual Ehret Day video library, $100 all the above, plus 15-minute call with me and Brother Ehret, $200 all the above, plus 60-minute Mucusless Diet consultation or coaching session with Professor Spira or Brother Ehret. $250 donation, all the above, plus I'll create 4-week personalized mucus-free menu and recipe plan for you. $300 donation, all the above, plus free enrollment in the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. $350, receive a VIP full access ticket to the 2nd annual Ehret Day Celebration. $400 upon approval. We'll place an ad for your business or in our program, or you can opt to take one of the earlier gift packages. And $750 to $1,200, the sponsorship level. Upon approval, your company or brand will be featured as a sponsor of the Ehret Day event, and get all of that information out to your folks and our folks, and just really just circulate the information. That's what I'm all about, circulation of the information. And so I very just thank all the folks that have already given. Thank you so much. And all the people that are going to give, just really appreciate it. We got this vision. We've been doing this for years and years, and we want to really put on a world-class, very high-level event to honor the works of Professor Arnold Ehret.
Yes. Yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we pulled this one off, and that we could because we were, it's kind of hard for us to come like this, and ask people for money, man, because that's not a part of our orientation,
Right.
We normally go set up on the street and make the money, to do our thing, like, okay, we're not ready to do this. Let's go to the big festival, and we're gonna take all the money and do this. So this is a big, kind of undertaking for us, and you get away from, I mean, like that shelter will be mucus and pus free for one day.
Right.
You dig? You won't have to worry about the I was just thinking about cats, the society like Trump and them, when they close their eyes, you see a flashing 12 in their eyes, like, how the computer go off, you get unplugged, and You see the 12.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You see the 12 in their eyes, you know, like that.
Right.
That's the way they function, man. It's like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
we deal with those folks constantly. So that shelter is gonna be like, for one day, we're gonna transform that shelter into, you know, the village.
The village, yeah.
You know, to the village. And
village is there.
yeah, and all the things that we can do at the village, we're gonna do in there with the music, you know, the poetry or whatever, the understanding about the lifestyle that we want to live and that we should be living, you know, aligning ourselves with nature, with ourselves. When you say aligning ourselves with nature, what that really means is that we're aligning ourselves with ourselves. We're getting back. We're getting back to ourselves. You think this is not anything that has anything to do with nature. Wires all over your head, man. I'm sitting here looking at telephone wires over my head, man, and cables, and you know, and it's just it's kind of scary, man. But you know, for that one day, you know, for 2 days, you know, 27 and 28, man, we're gonna have a whole mucusless vibe. We understand, if you know, when you come and talk like that, like, you know what I mean, we understand, you know, when you come and talk about mucus and pus, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's, you know, so don't feel, you know, see, you can't go to your corporate job and start talking about mucus and pus.
Right. Yeah. No. You.
See, this is where you want to come to the event.
Yeah. This
and hang and be around your people. You know, because then people say your people, and then you know might refer to our people as black people, Professor. But no, that's not our people.
Right.
Our people are people who talking about mucus and pus. Those are our people.
Right.
You know, as well, you know, as people of color or whoever, but that's really our people.
Right.
We're not, you know, and that's what Ehret teaches us through studying about physiology, that it's not about that. It's about the reconstruction of the bloodstream.
Right.
So, you know, our people are those who understand the reconstruction of the bloodstream. And so when you start talking about mucus and pus and all the things that go along with the practice, that's our people. That we love talking shop.
Yeah.
You know, don't get it wrong. If you see me, you run into me that day and you feel like, oh man, you don't want to talk about that. Man, I love talking shop. I love talking
always talking about the mucusless diet.
Always talking about the mucusless diet. So, you know, don't talk to me about breatharianism, as I'm not going to discuss that. So, you know, I don't, you know, I practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I know nothing about breatharianism other than we have a band called the Breatharian Ensemble, and we were gonna have that band perform. We just couldn't logistically get everybody there. Everybody's scheduled, you know, and we thought we were ahead of the game there, but you know, somebody was booked like 5 months in advance, you know.
Yeah.
So it threw off the Breatharian Ensemble. So, you know, and then you never know that you know how the universe that it might like the Breatharian Ensemble supposed to be there, you know, so it might change the whole landscape of that, you know. You know, just like the shelter might give us a call. Oh, that was canceled, you know, boom, and they go, you know, so yeah. So okay, I'm done. I done asked for all your money and as much as you can give and come to the event, man. Come, hang. You know, come and hang, man. And let's, you know, let's let's talk about what you're going through. I'll tell you about what I'm going through. And come hang and hang out with Professor, man. This hanging out with Professor is, you know, they have this idea about who you are, and they, well, Professor, he's just really kind of, you know. But this guy is as silly can get. I'm telling you, you know, he's a crazy dude too. So don't buy into the Professor. I'm doctor. I'm doctor. He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to be around. You know, he's a fun guy to hang out with. He has his persona though, because people be talking to me about Professor like you know, like, well, you know, they can't act around me. They don't think they can act like with the way they're around me. They think they got to straighten up with Professor. Oh, here comes Professor. Yeah. I be like, man, this dude did an enema in a Starbucks, man. You know, this guy's is kind of, you know, he's off the charts. So yeah, come and hang and meet the Professor, because he's not all, you know, like they, you know, like I had to prove that to a bunch of different people, you know, where they would get a chance to meet and be like, oh, okay. But no, but I guess that's a cool little persona, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not always giving lectures and analyzing everything like in that way. Yeah. No,
he's kind of like I'm supposed to be the elder of us both, but he acts more like the elder, you know. Like I'd be like, let's burn the mother down. You know? He'd be like, hold.
Oh no, yeah.
Let's get this out, you know. So, you know, but you can catch him at his I call it his did you get the key stage?
Yeah.
You can catch him like that every now and then.
Yeah.
Did you get the key? No. You know, so yeah, man. So I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I think we did a good job. I think we raised a lot of money, and we still gonna raise some money. And if you didn't get paid this week, next week you still can do it. You know, if it ain't nothing but $10, you know, help. You know, so I'm good, man. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in and everything. So
most definitely. And like I said, tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing the podcast, and we're going to be focusing on talking about Brother Ehret's early years, what it means to start practicing the diet. And so we'll be in the podcast format. So that should be a lot of fun. And so, again, I really appreciate all of you that have donated, those that will donate, those of you that are going to come. We're going to hopefully put the early bird pricing of the tickets on sale. If not next week, the week after. Hopefully we can get it next week. Just depends on logistics, everything. We're going to be having a volunteers meeting next week. I might, if you plugged in, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter or mailing lists and stuff. If we need more volunteers, there might be some more volunteer opportunities. We'll let you know. And that's kind of a situation where, because we sometimes get too many, you know, we just have a few slots that we need to fill with quality people. So if we don't get them all filled, then I'll put something out there so you can be on the lookout for that. But definitely, we're going to have some fun. It's going to be a great event, and I'm just looking forward to it. So until tomorrow, the podcast, until next time, this is Professor Spira.
Brother Ehret.
And we're out of here. Peace, love, and breath.